Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Terry Smooth, Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucker responsibilities. And right now, I'm gonna do a Venus through signs because, you know, someone, like a large amount of people wanted me to do Venus through signs. And like, I got a few videos. Matter of fact, I think I got Venus through signs for each, for a video, a separate video on their own. But, you know, I understand it's 2018. So a lot of new shifts has been going on. So a lot of new information, a lot of new aspirations, a lot of new inspirations, and also a lot of new people. I want to thank y'all, and I love y'all also for the 25,000 subscribers. Now, y'all already know me. It's not about the numbers. It's not about being satisfied or being happy that a number is reaching to a certain degree. That's not what it's for. We know as a soul group that number is just a representation or a tool or a body or a light or a sigil that can be used for us to do what we need to do with the shit. You see what I'm saying? So that's all that shit is for. And you know, in this realm of reality, more mass, more numbers can create more density, more shit, and we can bring more heavier shit into our realm of reality, which is probably, you know, big shit like, you know, 6 flights, not 6 flags, 6 flights, you know what I'm saying? All this shit that we can create, shape, and form for us. Like a place we can go where we can just imagine and create and utilize all the attributes of this realm. You see what I'm saying? So, for the most part, that's what we're here to do. We're here to experience all our glory in whatever level of life we are in. So, when we talk about Venus, Venus is one of the frequency vibrations that's vibrating one of the highest here. So, you know, since we are a mixture and accumulated with a lot of these things, this is one of the type of realms we have to learn. So, in our level of life, Venus will be perceived as the morning star. Even though, you know, Lucifer in love can come in, he likes to take the sun a lot of times because the sun makes you consciously aware. So that's correlated with actions and intellect and things in which you can see. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times Lucifer might utilize Saturn because it's dealing with structure and things. You know, structure likes to follow Lucifer around. Mercury likes to follow Lucifer around, which is dealing with the intellect. Jupiter likes to follow Lucifer around, you know. These are just lesser, because they're the lesser forms, but they are a mixture of shit, which are planets. They are a mixture of shit, but their main source comes from an actual sigil, same way like you do. But you are a mixture and accumulation of shit like them also. The same way how, you know, but that's getting into another video. When we talk about Venus, though, Venus is going to be most dominant because it's going to shine the brightest. It's going to create the most source. So anything that you tap into the love frequency or tap into or start to channel Venus here in this realm of reality, Venus is just its way of expressing love. But Venus is whoever was utilizing that energy before they ascended to that life. You see that shape and form. So that's the same way like Mars. Mars is just its version of hate, the hate spirit, and things of that nature. Jupiter is just its lower version of what we plan out. We all plan out these same things just in our level of life. So that's just, they ain't no better than you, but we under that. So, you know, you're a mixture of them. You're a mixture of all of them together as one, which is your natal chart. And you're here as one. You see what I'm saying? So let's get into it. I apologize. It's just a lot of shit I be having to clear up in the spirit realm before I start getting physical. Then let's get physical. Now, you know, alright. And that's another thing about weed too. See, it depends on your vibrational level as a spirit. If you already in low places, you need drugs and shit to bring you high because you in so many low places and going through so much low circumstances and situations and hellistic problems and patterns in your life that you need something to take you up out, to lift you up out the body so you can float for a little bit. But if you already a naturally high being like me, then a lot of times it's hard for me to even get stable. It's hard for me to even be in physicality and reality. So I smoke to come down. So I don't be blabbering off. I smoke. That's my version of high is opposite to y'all because I already look at everything and what's reversed to me is reversed to y'all, which y'all think is right, but I look at everything in reverse, which actually is right. So when I'm looking up, that shit is actually down. So when I get high, I'm coming down. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm already up where y'all think. You see what I'm saying? It's weird, but weed bring me down. So weed helps me be able to deal with y'all motherfuckers in circumstances and situations in this motherfucking life. So in the spirit realm, it just makes sense to know that, okay, I must be already high. I must smoke in this realm of reality to bring me down. So so I can float down here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, air, flight boss, bitch. Now, let's get into Venus. Now, Venus and Aries. Venus and Aries. Now, Aries, Venus don't like to be here. Venus is away from home here. So, you know, Venus is correlated to the way you love, appreciate, and how you relate to others, and the things that you're willing to be the things you're willing to compromise with. So that can lead into bad habits, because if you start compromising and you start being too blind into that light, that love, and you're blind based upon the people, places, and things that you value and love and appreciate, then if you start end up compromising with shit that your spirit really don't want to compromise with and don't have the ability to change because you're too lost in that light. So it start creating bad habits, and you start experiencing situations where you have to learn how to do things in moderation. And if you don't, you just go into a deeper and deeper hole. So for the most, and create more densities for yourself, and you don't reflect no light. You get lost into your own world and nobody see you again. So you might get too high and kill yourself. You see what I'm saying? And you can get high on anything. Doesn't necessarily have to be just drugs. You get high off being in relationships, to the point that you got so high off a relationship it killed you. That motherfucking person killed you in some way, shape, and form. Overwhelmed your elements. Just being around that person. Or that person physically killed your ass. But for the most part, as a spirit, you probably here and don't want to experience that no more. So you know you've been through that level of life, because you run away from all them kind of situations in this lifetime. But so with Venus being in Aries, right, it don't even like to be here, because Venus likes to relate, compromise. It likes to love and appreciate. But Aries is cardinal fire, initiating and creating new ways of how to see and feel about the world that is in. So, for the most part, with a person with Venus and Aries, they love and appreciate and value initiating and creating new ways of how to see and feel about things. But here's the key thing. When you're too busy initiating and creating new ways to see about things, then your ass you're gonna have a little bit of opposing nature when someone try to relate how they see something. You see what I'm saying? So it can create unbalancedness, but it also can create a person who figure out something faster than somebody else. So, you know, it goes into different scenarios. But in Venus, it's gonna play out as a person probably being a little selfish in love matters. They only look at love in the way how they want to receive it. Remind you, Venus is a receiving planet. So if Aries is initiating, creating their outlook and their own imagination, their own unique imagination, how they see love, then they may set the level too high. So everybody who come in their life never match that. So they end up being disgruntled and opposing to everybody they get in a love. Or if they do find a stupid person that's gullible enough to be in a relationship with a Venus and Aries, then you just rule them or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then force them to take the shape and form of how you see the relationship. And through time and through experiences and through age, you end up learning your faults. End up learning that that's what you're doing wrong. But through early in life and just, you know, just living, this might be the kind of energy that you in. But for the most part, you love being the leader. You love coming up with ideas. You love being inspirational. You love showing people what you can do. But a lot of times you may love too hard, love yourself too hard. You end up being self-centered and don't love and appreciate anyone else's outlook or their way of feeling and seeing about things. Venus and Taurus. It's home here, baby. Venus loves being here because Venus gets to relate and appreciate and value to the things that's actually what we're supposed to be relating and valuing in this realm of reality to anyway, which is earth-like things. Now Taurus is fixed earth, being fixated on its own way of thinking, being practical, and actually making sense out of things. So Venus gets to love being logical. Venus gets to love practicality. And it also gets to love material, earth-like things, and practicality and stability. So, you know, Venus loves stability because Venus correlates to how you relate. So anything that's dealing with your relationship or relating to people, and when a person is in a relationship, what do they want most in a relationship? Stability. So Venus is just at home when it's in Taurus, you know what I'm saying? So this is what makes people like get too comfortable into their pleasures. So try not to do that, Tauruses. You get too comfortable into soft things or material things or relationship or sex and things. You get too lost into that to the point your ass become more of a sex addict than a Scorpio. But for the most part, you know, that's how Venus and Taurus can play out. Venus loves to experience all of this realm in Taurus. Venus and Gemini. Now with Venus and motherfucking Gemini, now I have this on a cusp though. So I'm 2 degrees. So I share a little bit of the Taurus energy and I share a little bit of the Venus energy. So even though you may see the Venus, you may see me loving and appreciating the value and information and intellect and ways of communicating and being curious about different things. Even though that you may see that from me first, that's always backed and supported by, I try to get rooted in that though. I try to gain stability in that, gain a certain foundation into that type of shit. But for the most part, this is just talk about for Venuses and Gemini in general. Yeah, you love and appreciate and value curiosity. So you may value and appreciate being in multiple kind of relationships, or it doesn't necessarily have to just deal with cheating on someone, but it can lead into that. You know what I'm saying? And you may love and appreciate and value forms of unpredictability, forms of communicating information, knowledge, and being curious in general. So you may get involved into a lot of things because you love and appreciate and value getting your hands dirty and getting involved into a lot of things, even other people's business and gossip and things of that nature. So you may love and appreciate and value all kind of information, which gossip, that's a form of information, and you willing to compromise. You willing to compromise being late for work because you was on the phone talking and the fucking story was just so motherfucking juicy. You had to tell them like, goddamn, wait, man, you know what? I'm gonna call you when I'm on break. I'm about to be late for work. Goddamn, I gotta go clock in. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't mad if you a couple minutes late. Matter of fact, you mad that the manager even put on your tag, on your sticker that you was a minute late. You like, goddamn, man, I'm just a second late. You mad? You more mad at them than your ass than the conversation you was. You mad that the job stopped your conversation? Shit, motherfucker, it gets that deep for real. You know what I'm saying? So Venus and Gemini goes motherfucking deep for real. Y'all motherfuckers, y'all know how to move around. Y'all love and appreciate both sides of a circumstance or a scenario. Venus and Cancers. Now, Venus and Cancer, you guys love and appreciate and value concern. So a lot of times you just love and appreciate and value seeing another person care. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even care what they caring about, just as long as they care. You love and appreciate and value that. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of what kind of circumstance and a situation a person is in, you will still help them. Even though you can logically still see that this person keep putting themselves in that circumstance and situation. You know, water is not always logical. It's more about the feelings. So you more connect with how a person is feeling in the time that they're just going through they stumbles and fall. So you will help. It's just once it start getting too clingy, you know, you'll start to put up guards and shells and shit, because you'll start knowing that your love is being taken advantage of. But for the most part, that creates the arena for you to come at that person in that kind of way, in an emotional way. Like, look, I'm only going to help you this much, but you know you need to get off your. You could come to them that way because you shared the experience that allowed that open access of communication to be there. So you see, that's where Cancers could get in the root of things where other people can't. You see what I'm saying? And other people have to let things go and let the lie keep adding on and things of that nature. Just like other scenarios and shit. Just like everything else. The physical realm, light, sound. Just replace that with Lucifer lie. You see what I'm saying? Once you say one lie, it has to keep going. Once one thing is created, it has to keep going. Once you hear one thing, it has to keep being heard. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of different shit. As soon as somebody come in with something different, that creates a whole new train and brainwave. And then that got to keep being heard. It might be another higher form of a lie. But once we get to something that it doesn't need to be heard, doesn't need to be said, was understood is already understood. Nigga, that's God, motherfucker. Light bulbs. But for the most part, when we talk about Venus and shit, Venus and Cancer, you know, these are people who love and appreciate and value concern and things of that nature. So if they even at a job that they feel like that don't care about them, they're not gonna put too much care into getting the motherfucking job done in the right way. And that goes into relationships and everything. If you see the partner not loving and not showing no concern or care about this relationship, then that's when you're gonna start showing your moody ass. You're gonna start showing your moody motherfucking ass, and that water wave may just wash and completely destroy the whole bridge. And once a bridge get destroyed in a Cancer's mind, ain't no fucking rebuilding that motherfucking bridge. You better build that motherfucking bridge at another fucking angle somewhere else. Don't lead it my motherfucking way. You keep that bridge fucking destroyed. Ain't no walking across this bridge and relating any goddamn more. But you know what I'm saying? That, yeah, Venus and Cancer, y'all go motherfucking deep. Now, Venus and motherfucking Virgo. Now, Venus and Virgo. Now, Virgo is mutable earth, which is being mutable and being able to adapt to. And if I say Cancer, Cancer is cardinal water. So, you know, it's initiating and creating new ways of how to feel and deal with the emotions. So Venus there, you know, you love and appreciate and value initiating, creating new ways of how to deal with emotions and feelings. So you love creating the vibe, and it make you uncomfortable when you're around others who got vibes that don't match yours. So keep that in mind. Now, Venus and Virgo. Now, skip Leo. Now, Venus and Leo. Now, so that's why I had that thought pattern, because Cancer is like, hold on, motherfucker, you forgetting Leo. Come back to me so you can remember that you was at Leo. All right, thanks, Cancer. See, y'all some powerful motherfuckers. See, I'm real in tune with the spirit. I get where shit come from. Thanks, Cancers. Now, all right, for the most part, okay, Leo. Now, Leo. So y'all Leos, y'all should be thinking Cancers. Now, all right, Leo. Venus and Leo, you love and appreciate and value fixed fire, being fixated on your own way of seeing and feeling about things. So you like to soak in and your own visions, your own imagination, and you like to see it all the way through. So anytime somebody try to make you feel differently or see things differently, you may throw a dramatic moment, or you may get in a detachful type moment, or you get into an ego or prideful type moment. And really in the astral realm, that's just someone else stepping on your stage. No, you're center stage of your world. You see what I'm saying? And you want that to be seen. Other people's ideas and shit like that. But for the most part, a stage can have other people on the stage. So you know how to take other people's ideas and things of that nature. But the moment someone try to control the stage, that's when you be like, hold on. You get dramatic and you take the mic and be like, look, you just control the motherfucking curtains. Your ass just sweep up after we done. Your ass just make sure the mic voices and the volumes is right. Your ass just make sure the lighting is right. Don't tell me how to move on the goddamn stage, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me what the goddamn saying. That's where that come from in the astral realm. But, you know, as a Venus and Leo, this is what you love and appreciate and value. You know what I'm saying? You love and appreciate and value the stage itself. So when someone know their position, you know how to play. You know how to work with the lights. You know how to jump up from behind the curtains just right. You know how to align yourself with the shit. But the moment the curtain nigga try to tell you, look, I'm about to move the curtain like this, so you should do this. That's what things get fucked up. Like, hold on, look, don't tell me how to jump from the curtains. You just keep working the curtains the way you was working the curtains. I got the stage, homeboy. So, you know what I'm saying? Or if you a girl, this is how y'all feel. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the Venus and Leo. So that's where the prideful energy come from when it plays out in the physical realm. No matter what you're doing in the physical realm, whether you got a job and shit like that, boom, you want to show everybody what you can do, especially if people adding on what you can do and y'all all talking and shit. The moment somebody try to tell you how to do what you doing, oh shit, all hell breaks loose. You know what I'm saying? So I fucks with y'all motherfucking Venus and Leos. Now, Venus and Virgo. Now, Virgo is mutable earth, being mutable and being able to adapt to your own or other people's ways of thinking and being practical. So, you see what I'm saying? So, you, Venus and Virgo signs love and appreciate and value intellect and ways of thinking. And they even like to see how other people think and how other people make things. And they love how to make things, how to discover how things work. So, they love and that they have the ability to take apart a clock because they get to see how the clock is working and shit like that and put it back together and look at the details so they can analyze things. So Venus don't even like to be in this kind of earth. You know what I'm saying? See, like I said, every sign is different. Just because Venus is earth like Taurus, they share different modalities, they're in different positions, they have different levels of life. You see what I'm saying? So Venus actually falls here. Venus don't like the be in Virgo. So Venus has a hard time because Venus likes to love, appreciate, value, and relate. So, you know, Aries, Scorpio, and Venus has similar things. I mean, Aries, Scorpio, and Virgo has similar attributes when it comes to how they look at love. Because, see, when Venus wants to love, appreciate, and value, and relate, and compromise, it can't do that in a position that only wants to analyze, and only wants to look at the details, and only wants to work. Ain't no time for pleasure. Ain't no time for relating someone else's ideas. So it'll play out in ways as Venus and Virgo make a person love and appreciate and value criticizing or criticism, or they love looking at the details, which will still lead them into looking at criticizing. So they love and appreciate criticizing, or they may love and appreciate looking at the negative attributes of love. So anytime love come around, they look at the negative part first. They look at what's this the ending that can happen, or they look at the reality of it. Okay, yeah, you can love something, but the reality of it is not going to stay. So you know, love, Venus, it doesn't like being in the energy of Virgo or Aries or Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? They play, but the way it don't like to be in that energy plays out differently in all of them based upon position. So you know, a lot of times you may express your love in a way that love don't like to be expressed. So you may overexalt your love because it falls here, so it's in a dream state. So it may imagine love is in a certain way, so it may overexalt its love into material or being practical. Or a lot of times it may filter the love through criticizing. It may think the Venus and Virgo person may think it has to criticize some person out of love, because a person may not be looking at a certain detail in their own life, and this Virgo be able to look at that detail and be like, okay, I need to criticize. You need to know this because you're not seeing this. And if you take care of this, you can actually help you. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times their criticism come out of the nature of love. Venus, especially if they have Venus and Virgo, their criticism will come out of, that's how they love. So a lot of times they get into negative relationships because they feel like this is what love is. That's how they see love. So a lot of times the woman, Venus and Virgos, may get into abusive relationships, but they think that's the type of shit that they need to know what love is. And in the male, it plays out in the same way. The male try to attract love anywhere it can get it, whether it's in negative places or positive places, because it feels like you got to get love anywhere you can get it. And sometimes it may play out into physical things, which is sex or material, being a boss or things of that nature, or just in a spiritual realm, being an emotional vampire, trying to extract love anywhere you can get it because you lack it yourself, because you don't have the right outlook of it. So you know, it's a hard time for Venus in Aries and Scorpios and Virgos. Now, Venus and Libras. Venus is home here. Gets to relax again. Because not only is Venus likes to relate, communicate, and analyze. Relate, compromise, appreciate, and value. Sorry about that. Not only it likes to do that and compromise, it's at home in Libra. Shit, it gets to do that with all his wildest dreams. You see what I'm saying? So in motherfucking Libra, it gets to relate and compromise with actual people, with actual relationships, with actual balance within the self, in the spirit, with actual justice, with actual law. This is what makes people probably, people who got Venus and Libra, 9 times out of 10, they like being police officers, or they like being in government or dealing with justice in some type of way. But it doesn't always have to be that. It's just anytime they witness someone getting the short end of the stick, they create their realm of reality of creating balance in that area of life. So Venus loves being in here. Now you got to make sure you're not getting lost in love, not getting lost in compromising, not getting lost in relating to the point you become too passive and you put too much of yourself into others. To the point you start living for others, while others still have a piece of themselves that they get to live for. So when they get into those realms of realities or get around those people, places, and things, you end up feeling jealous. You end up feeling unbalanced in your own self, in your own life. So you manifest a bunch of unbalanced circumstances in order for you to learn balance. And it goes deep in a lot of different scenarios. But you know, that's the aspect of Venus being a Libra. Now, Venus being a Scorpio, another place it doesn't like to be. It's away here. So, you know, Scorpio is fixed water, being fixated on your own emotions and feelings. So, you know, right there off the bat, it's telling you Venus is in an area it doesn't like to be in, because Venus likes to relate, likes to compromise. Shit, that puts Scorpio in a vulnerable ass place. So, like, off the bat, Scorpio is like, damn, I don't want to relate these deep emotions and feelings. I don't know what people will think of me. That's scary as fuck. And you forced to do this a little bit. And if the more you retract it, the more circumstance get manifested in your life where a person will bring it out of you, or people will just see it off you and you can't help it. So this is scary in Scorpio. So you may love and appreciate and value sex and things behind closed doors and things of that nature. So or you may love, appreciate, and value the occult and things behind the scenes, and you know, the things that need to be brought to the surface, and detective work and investigation, and someone cheating or not, or alternative motives. You may love and appreciate that shit, but on the flip side, you end up loving and appreciating having alternative motives to the point you end up being a sneaky ass motherfucker. Or on the flip side, it's hard for you to love and appreciate and value what love is, because you're too busy loving and appreciating and valuing your own emotional state, your own. And so anytime somebody else try to come make you feel or take you out of that, it becomes a guard, or it becomes hidden. You become hidden, and you create, and this is what you got in common with Leo. You will create a persona, or create a circumstance, or create an energy to be seen, just to keep what's behind the veil hidden, so you don't feel vulnerable and things of that nature. So it's like Leos create a sunlight, which will be an ego. In your form, you create a stinger. So that's a stinger. Anytime somebody get close to that stinger, you sting them. You're like, okay, don't get too close. You get too close. You know what I'm saying? You're not close You're not that close to be talking about that stuff like that. But boom. But for the most part, that's the ego you create. So Venus and Scorpio, it doesn't really like to be here because you're too busy loving and appreciating and valuing your own emotional feelings and things of that nature. So you're not relating to anyone else's emotional state or their world. So anytime somebody try to come change yours, it gets opposing. So, you see how it differs between Scorpio, Virgo, and Aries? It doesn't like to be in Aries because Aries is too busy trying to love and appreciate and value its own way of trying to see and feel about something. So in Aries, it makes an unrelatable person. In Virgo, it makes a criticizing person. In Scorpio, it makes a sneaky person. You know what I'm saying? Or, sneaky person. So, got to be careful. Now, Venus in Sagittarius. Now, this is mutable fire. Being mutable and being able to adapt to your own and other people's ways of seeing and feeling about the world that we are in. So this is expressive, but it's also wisdom. Because anytime someone takes the advice or know how to align themselves with other people's ways of seeing and feeling about things, there's multiple billions of different people and different ways of seeing and feeling about things in the world, different spiritualities and religions and shit. So this what makes a Venus and Sagittarius person wise on these things, and they know how to apply these things within their relationships. So they apply. So the Venus and Sagittarius person is not as an escapist as the Venus and as the Sagittarius sun or moon person or ascendant. These people know how to align their experience with their relationship. So they're not escaping a relationship. They know how to take the wisdom and knowledge and their experiences of the world and apply it to their relationships. So they end up having way better relationships than a lot of other people, and because they know how to enlighten others on how to have a relationship with the people with Venus and Sagittarius. Now, you just have to make sure that you're not getting lost into too much loving and appreciating and compromising with forms of spiritualities and religion, because you could get lost in one form of a religion, one form of a spirit, one form of a philosophy, one form of an experience. So you may have just went through a catastrophic experience in your life, and you carry that with you in every other experience in your life, to the point that they play like glasses and dark shades, to the point that you don't see no clairvoyance in any new experience, to the point that you never experience anything new, because you keep attaching this old experience to you. So it can play out like that also. So be careful. Venus in Capricorn. Now with Venus in Capricorn, this is cardinal Earth, initiating and creating new ways of thinking and being practical. So you love and appreciate and value being the boss a lot of times. Shapes and forms. You love, appreciate, and value being the first to think about something, to come up with something creative and be the example of it, to bring it into shape and form, for you to be the example of what other people need to do in order to get that organized or get that done. So this is things that you love and appreciate and value. It can play out. It does all right, but it can play out in negative ways here also. But you don't really have a concern for the emotions and feelings, but you love and appreciate things that make sense and things that's practical. Now, you don't love and appreciate and value any lacking of energy. Anytime somebody's not on task, or not seen in a certain way, or not trying to be seen, or not practical, or not, and don't have no type of status or things of that nature, you run away from these things. You love and appreciate and value a form of status. So even if it's a person who can get from point A to point B a lot faster than you, aka they might got a lot more popularity or a lot more pull than you, or their status may be greater than yours, you kind of love and appreciate and value that. So you wouldn't mind being used by this person, or aligning yourself with this person, because you understand this rubbing shoulders with this person, you could get from point A to point B, and in some way, shape, or form, you're gonna, that Lucifer spirit again, create your own shit and have your own kingdom, your own separate, which is no right or wrong to anything. Y'all get lost in a bunch of shit. But you know, Saturn rules Capricorn, so you're gonna have that kind of energy with you if you got a lot of Capricorn energy in you, regardless. But just fucking Venus and Capricorn, period. These are the kind of things you love and appreciate. You love and appreciate and value competition, you know, and things of that nature, and having things your way. So you love things your way. So anytime somebody try to come into your household or come around you and try to have it their way, they're in motherfucking trouble. So you know, this is and you might even love using people. So try not to dive too far into that, you know. But that's Venus and Capricorn. Venus and Aquarius. Now this is fixed air. So you have a fixated way of thinking and communicating. So this may play out in you being opposing to other people's ways of thinking and communicating, or you being looked at as having a unique and original way of thinking and communicating, and people liking that. So that depends on your other alignments based upon your angle with Aquarius, wherever you got Aquarius at. But Venus and Aquarius, this person love and appreciate and value communicating and relating with others, and technology and science, and what's unique and original and what's there to be new, and bringing that in. But also these people love and appreciate and value their own way of these things. So this is where that stubborn nature come in, and that fixated nature, because they could come up with new unique thoughts, but they also have the ability to be fixated and see that thought all the way through, where the other two air signs may lack. See, all the fixed signs share being fixated at stability and knowing how to see something all the way through. So they know how to be the shapes and forms of the elements. Fixed signs know how to be the representation, the light of the element. You see what I'm saying? Cardinal signs just know the spirit of it. They have a hard time bringing it into fruition though, without no fixed energy. You know, they just good with ideas. Mutable signs is good with adding on and seeing both sides and seeing the broad perspective of things. So they know how to expand things. And also it understands contraction when something needs to be transformed and go back to the stage of the cardinal stage, which is we need new ideas, but we also can expand on this fixated idea. So, you know, this what makes mutable signs transparent. You know what I'm saying? They're the transportation, the transformation, and all that shit. But with Venus and Aquarius, you guys love and appreciate and value intellect. But a lot of times you may love and appreciate and value being wrong or being stubborn to the point no one else can tell you that you're being wrong. So keep that in mind also. Be open to new ideas, but a lot of times you thought about so many ideas that you be right. But you ever been around a person that's so right it becomes distasteful, and then when something do come around that they're wrong about, since they feel like they've been so right, they get lost into thinking that whatever came that is right, they look at that as wrong also. It's like it's weird, but that's all air signs have the ability to dive that deep into the intellect, but Aquarius has got it bad, and they have a God syndrome, a God complex, whatever y'all call it, to the point that they think they are. It's weird, you know what I'm saying? But you know, you guys love and appreciate and value the mind in general, and you guys hate stupidity. So you guys love and appreciate and value space also. So you guys need your space to analyze and to consume this relationship. But in general, you guys love and appreciate and value relating in some way, shape, or form. So you guys even come up with the new technologies on how to relate. You guys create the new social media shit, or you guys create the new ways of how to use a social media. You know what I'm saying? So y'all utilize a new app that everybody else will start utilizing that app, but forgot that you was the first person that utilized that app in that way. You see what I'm saying? And you be on to something else, and you won't even be getting praised for that, and you won't even be you'll be looking at it like, what is this new shit that everyone else is doing? Not realizing that you created that shit, motherfucker. You just lost in something else now. You know what I'm saying? That the Venus and Aquarius goes deep into the intellect. Deep. Now, Venus and Pisces. Now, Venus is exalted here. So Venus can lose itself and get and overexhaust itself in Disneyland or Neverland or Six Flights. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? Or Disney flights. You can get lost in that shit with Venus and Pisces. So Venus, love and appreciating value. Pisces is mutable water, being mutable and being able to adapt to his own or other people's ways of dealing with the emotions and feelings. So Venus love to do that. It get to jump in. It get to be like what they call that. A person who know how to possess other people's bodies. Damn, what is that word? That motherfucker is a. Damn, what is that word? But you could jump into other motherfucking bodies and take them and take the shape and form of them. And then jump back into your body and be like, hey, yo, I understand you. Then this motherfucker be like, damn, this motherfucker speaking for me and shit like that. It's like, damn, what is that? Poltergeist. No, that's just the movie that was happening in. But it's what your spirit is. It's what your spirit be doing. You know what I'm saying? But Pisces know how to do this. And since everything is bodies, sounds, gas, light, Pisces know how to jump into that shit and take that body and become the motherfucking who was the dude that was in the television and he was coming out taking motherfucking the motherfucking electro dude. Damn. I'm extending this video just because other shit that popped in my mind, and there's so many spiritual analogies I could make all that but whatever. You know what I'm saying? But shit, yeah, Pisces know how to fucking do that shit. Y'all know how to take all forms of bodies and play the shape and form. So y'all know how to relate to people on a maximum level and all that shit. But make sure you're not overexhausting yourself in that shit. Because for the most part, you can get lost in that and not even have a life of your own. You become the life. So once you become the life, when it's time to have a life of your own, you don't. So you get frustrated because you took on so many other responsibilities that you start to think that you are the duties and obligations of these responsibilities. So when it's time to have your own life, and when God comes to you and make you realize you have your own life, you get frustrated because you're like, oh, I can't because I have to help them, or I have to help my grandmother, or I have to be here, or I have to be there, so I can't. Not right now. I'm gonna get there, but I just gotta be there for this, that, and the third. I gotta be there for this treat. You see what I'm saying? And you get lost, and you become the life, and God trying to come into you, so you end up having a God complex also. It's just your God complex is different from the Aquarius God complex. By us thinking we in the age of Aquarius, but it's just a few fixed stars and that faggot star Ganymedes and shit like that gay nigga, and trying to make y'all think. But then since us being in Centaur, it's the constellation of Aquarius is going to make you have intellect and be wise about spiritual shit. So now you think you are the spiritual shit. You think you are the spirit. But with the Pisces, the way the God complex is playing out through the Pisces is as no, we're not that. We can just make ourselves the apart. So it's both confusion, but at the same time, this is the both God complex, but the Lucifer God complex that they up under. You know what I'm saying? Not just the source God complex, but it's dive deep. But you know, Venus and Pisces, you know, you guys can overexhaust yourself to the point that you would get spiritually tired and find yourself having to separate from people, places, and things and brood anyway. You come to that, but it's out of love, but you end up coming to that same conclusion anyway. But for the most part, you know, you love it, you know how to take all these shapes and forms. So shit, you already know about love. You already know about relating. You already know about compassion. You already know about concerning. And these are things that you love and appreciate, and you love it, and you may dive too far into loving and appreciating value and your relationships. And then Venus and Pisces also, you may dive too far and overexhaust yourself with the things that you compromise with. So you may lose yourself into your habits. So the things that you love, you lose yourself in it. So you become a super drug addict and things of that nature with Venus and Pisces. So, you know, it goes deeper than that, man. This video could be for 24 hours or 7 days long. But, you know, I have to chop it down, you know. Flight bus, bitch, to a fucking 20 minutes or something. However long this was. Flight bus, bitch, goddamn air. Venus a powerful mother.